Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Time Pass podcast. I'm your host and host, Prateek Shah. And today we have a special guest joining in. Her name's Paromita Bardoloi. I hope I've got it right. She hails from Assam, and we'll hear a lot of stories about multiple things that she does. So, without wasting any more time, I've invited her to join the podcast. Any moment now, she should be able to join. And there we have her.
Hello.
Hi, Paromita.
How lovely to. I am so good and I'm so happy to see you. Am I audible?
You're audible. You're audible. You just need to decrease the height of the camera so you fit in the frame. Just a little bit. Yeah.
Now it's perfect?
Much more. Perfect.
Great.
Look good.
Great. How are you and what's happening in life?
I'm good. All is well. Delhi.
You don't age. मतलब you need to test for being a vampire. कितने सदियों से जिंदा हो प्रतीक?
Very nice. Either I don't age or maybe it's the new phone that I've got that makes me look younger. Whatever is the case, I'm not complaining.
Sure. Tell me.
Great. So, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining in. And there are a lot of things we'd like to know about you, from you, the perspective, and more. So, to begin with, instead of me introducing you, I'll just ask you to tell everybody who's watching more about you. What do you do? And like that.
So my name is Paromita Bardoloi. I stay in Delhi. I've been there since my graduation years. 10 साल से ज़्यादा हो गया है. But right now, because of the summers, I'm in home in Assam. I work as a writer and have written 2 books also. And I write for others also. And I work as a healer. So these are the 2 sources of income, honestly, to say. And that is what I do for a living. उससे पहले I have 10 to 12 years of experience working in office as a content writer, editor, and it just keeps growing up. So उसके बाद, right now I work for myself. So that is what I do basically.
Right. Absolutely. Wonderful. So, how did writing happen? When did writing begin, or since when were you writing?
So that is a very good question. When did I start to write? So I come from a very small place, लेकिन cultured बहुत है. People do write, they read. जैसे 5th को Sunday, Saturday, there is a theater, local बच्चे theater कर रहे हैं. And there are workshops होते हैं. Despite it's being a very small town, Arunachal is just half an hour from where I stay. China is closer to me than Delhi is. So I'm very close to the border, yes. And you just cross over a little, you can see the border, and you can see it's very interesting if you go to Arunachal, the Siang River, half is in India and half is in China. It flows through China. So yeah, I've been, तो यहाँ पर लोग बहुत cultured है. And my sister used to write for a children magazine. And I started writing, and I think I have always felt way too much than I used to feel. I used to look at the sky and feel it is so beautiful. It was overwhelming. So what do you do with this kind of sensitivity? You write down. And I've been writing since then, and it became a career. It gave me a lot of, what you say, that recognition bhi aapko mili. I won't lie. If Pratik knows me because of my writing. And then I also shifted my gear to, oh, hi Kunal. I'm the director of Delhi Literature Festival. So hi Kunal. Hi there. I'm just making contacts, you see. So yes, writing ke baad now I have started to work as a healer also. 2-3 साल ही हुए हैं, and that is what I am doing right now.
Wow, very interesting. I think Anandita Sitaro ka Bashinda also mentioned, I think, about your book. And,
oh wow,
hello,
where?
I think she just mentioned, gifted my nephew a copy of the Swan That Flew. He loved it.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's good to know. So, you talk about culture in Assam, right? And we'll just randomly correlating with it being probably a small town, as you rightly put.
Very small. I'll tell you, it's not even a town. We still have a panchayat. We don't have a town committee right now. So the government of India talks us about semi-rural area. I have the last junction of the Indian Railways in Northeast. So that is where I come from. And that is where my roots and identity is, yes. And if you take a flight, the last airport is at Dibrugarh, and 1.5 hours you have to take a car. And we have tea gardens, 200-300 साल पुरानी है, Britishers ने जो किए हैं. And it is said that our land is so fertile. If you put a hockey stick, it will become a tree. That is what the Britishers said about our land. So we still have those British bungalows. We have clubs, which, the Britishers had their clubs, and we still come from that culture. So though it is a very, very small town, but culturally we are humongously privileged. And therefore missionaries बहुत ज़्यादा है. Education अच्छी रही है क्योंकि missionaries came with the Britishers because their kids had to go to school. So वो हमारी privilege रही है. The church and education came together because the Britishers came in flocks for the tea gardens. So church तब आया, and then the missionaries came for the education. So education अच्छी रही हमारी.
Got it. So, but how do you think and why do you think that the small towns are able to preserve the legacy and culture all through these decades or even centuries, as you put it, while, the cities look all the same probably all over the globe now, and there is no real culture that is really there in the cities. It's just a mix and match amalgamation of various cultures from all the places.
True. You know why? My house, we have 3 generations have lived together. Loyalty बहुत ज़्यादा है. So हमारी यहाँ पर, because Arunachal is very close and China is very close, drug problem बहुत आ रही है अभी. I won't lie about it. So everyone has got together to fight it. So अभी जो summer vacation है, theatre classes, kung fu classes, ये classes शुरू कर. So basically we are a community. So हमारा जो जैसे मंदिर होता है, हमारा वैष्णविज्म बहुत ज़्यादा है. So we have namghars. So we summers में या winter vacation में, those places are open for children to go and perform, to write, to read, to dance. So you can be rich or I can be poor, but the community takes care of you. And that is why, we belong. We are together in this. And that is why we are so healthy. Otherwise, we can preserve it. I know my language. I know my songs. I know my saints. I know where I come from. And that is why, it makes us who we are, and we have been able to preserve our culture.
So can we rightly say that there is still community living in the town, that the panchayat that you live in?
Yes. It is the community culture that has, because you are not alone. If someone has died, 10 people will come down.
I get it.
You see, ये अकेले नहीं है. You don't have to keep calling the police. You don't have to keep calling the service people. कंधा देने के लिए 5 लोग आ जाएंगे. When I was in 10th grade, I was telling someone, when I was in 10th grade and I stay at home and Amma used to go to work, the grandmothers all around would make sure that I was safe at home. So that the girls are safe, the grandmothers make sure. वो जो पूछना ना खिड़की से, आप ठीक हो ना, क्योंकि आप पढ़ रहे हो, कोई देख रहा है. So I was never hurt or abused, even though I stayed all alone in my house. Your safety, Pratik, is the responsibility of the whole town. Your child is into drugs, so it is a community problem.
It's a family.
So when
extended family, basically.
Extended, when communities are very strong, you don't need, that becomes a shared responsibility. Your trauma is a shared responsibility. If my son is into drugs, it is a shared responsibility. That is what I have got it from my town. साथ मिलके चलते हैं, अकेले नहीं जीतना है, साथ जीतते हैं. That makes humongous difference in your upbringing. It says, it takes a village to raise a child, and I have been raised by a village. I know what the difference is. It is to be raised by a village and raised by 2 parents going to home, and then your schools and all. So our values, our morals come from this community.
I understand. That's
And
quite beautiful.
if now I have a problem and I just scream, there will be 10 men coming out. I have been raised without a father, and my mother and my brother was like 3 years old. So kabhi bhi the dog would bark in front of our house, the neighbor would come out and ask, "Are you okay?" They'd ask my mother. फायदा नहीं उठाना है, protect करना है. That is how we are raised. And that is how I believe our values are still so strong, no matter where we live. How rich we are. And as you age, as you see more of the world, you realize how rich you are. So that is what I carry, no matter which part of the world I grow. That is what I carry now that I'm talking to you.
Quite beautiful.
We don't have therapists, पता है. We have the whole community. बैठ के बात होती है. So your trauma is also my responsibility. Even if you're a poor child, you still will get the same kind of exposure because community sponsor it. सब लोग घर में summer vacation में 100 रुपए देते हैं, so that the dance teacher comes. You also get the opportunity. We also preserve our culture tattooing, our theater, our drama, our saints, our poets. They stay in our bodies, because we teach our children. I pay for it because I know I was taught. Generation by generation we do it. So funding हम कर देते हैं the next generation. हमें किसी और ने fund किया था. So our dancers, जब बिहू होता है, should come. You can hear that 3 बजे के बाद ढोल बज रहे हैं, गाना गा रहा है, कोई किसी को सिखा रहा है, and all are funded by the community. इसीलिए डांस म्यूजिक अभी भी जिंदा है, बच्चों को सिखा देते हैं. And your child is safe. I won't rape your child. आप मेरे घर पे भेज सकते हो. That is the trust the communities have. And that is what I have built. I have a small listening circle because I come from a community where people sit and listen. I created that. लोगों को दिल्ली में बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि ये है वो है. So no, this is the gifts I have received. So let's share it ना. हर टाइम मुझे क्यों फर्स्ट आना होता है? साथ चले ना, वेल बीइंग होती है. तुम बीमार, 10 लोग बीमार, तो मैं अच्छी नहीं रह सकती. पीपल डोंट गेट इट राइट इन द सिटी. सबको फर्स्ट होना है, हसल करना है, झूठ बोलना है कि मैंने बिना खाए 25 दिन में अभी CEO बना हूं. यू आर लाइंग राइट. वी डोंट लाई because if you are hungry, you won't go hungry if you are in my town. क्योंकि वेजिटेबल जब ज्यादा होते हैं हम बेचते नहीं हैं, किसी और के घर में दे के आते हैं. I have not gone hungry. Ubuntu जो culture है, African culture, I am because you are. सब कोई जब भूखा होता है ना, तुम्हारे घर में बहुत कुछ हो, you will be still sick because your land is sick. You don't get it. People don't get it. The relationship we have with our land, with our people. This is what we are taught. And that is why you say our cultures thrive. We thrive. Because we don't go as one, we go as 10,000.
Right.
So that is, I hope it answers your question.
No, absolutely. I think it's all just sounding so beautiful. I feel like I'm watching a real life documentary of how life is in Assam.
Not all the cities are like that. Delhi, I don't know what city life is there, but I'm talking about a small town.
Your
and
place.
My place. और छोटे-छोटे शहरों में ऐसा होता है. So one generation funds the next. So all art stays in our bodies. All art always stays in the body. We haven't uprooted it from the bodies of our children. That is why we are so strong.
And like you said, it's all about
Yeah.
paying it forward. You do it for someone and somebody does it for
It's about people. Community. तुम शहरों में क्या होता है, लोग आते हैं एम्बिशियस, यूएस जाना है. You don't connect with the sand. You don't even love your land. इसीलिए ना बंजर हो जाते हैं जमीन.
Very good.
जिस जमीन को प्यार नहीं मिलता ना, वो बंजर होता है हमेशा. We love our land. We can die for it. That is how we are rooted. I have seen the CA protest. The way people love their land. It's like my child. How do I betray you? जब आपकी कोई अटैचमेंट नहीं होती है, बिट्रेयल क्या फर्क पड़ता है? So that is where our love for your ancestors come from.
Beautiful. We've also got some basic compliments and comments. Let me just read them out once.
Okay.
Blissful Storyteller says, Hi Paromita, I love to read your words because I feel your words heal too. Lots of love for you and more part for you. And we also have Ishi saying that long time, Dee, you're beautiful as always.
Thank you.
And one more, I think I just show.
So anyways, let me talk about system now. I'm very interested talking about. So as a healer, I work with intergenerational traumas, right? Like your face might resemble your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, you might carry their traumas too. We never come as one. And it's very, very interesting, the work that I do. And of course, I'm very grateful that what I love gives me money. You have to be really fortunate to live that life. I've grown up in a community. Now I work with people and I work with their communities now. Generations of people. And you will see that you never come as one. My teacher says that, Paru, when you meet a person, he never comes in one. He comes as a community. Look at the community trouble, the person will heal. It's so beautiful, beautiful. I have been studying a lot on intergenerational trauma. And it is, so I was reading this book. It did not start with you. So there has been research with the Holocaust victim. उनके जो descendants है, they have more depression उनके ज़्यादा है. Despite they have been grown up in a better environment, depression and anxiety, fear of being killed by someone, lung issues ज़्यादा है क्योंकि गैस किया गया था एक generation को. So there is a research on mice because now mice and humans shares 95% of DNA similar hai. So one generation of mice is being traumatized. The third generation is also traumatized the same way. So when you heal one generation, you heal 7 before and 7 after. My teacher always says that. It's brilliant when you work through trauma. Sometimes I am amazed कि ये आया कहाँ से है. Working on, digging on, and you see some grandmother at some lifetime has suffered it. इसीलिए every religion से दुख मत देना. Don't disturb the pearl. One thread is disturbed, all of them are disturbed. So I'm grateful that this is my life work and I do this every day. And I hope I can leave back a lot of, data and work so that next generation can work on that. So yeah, that is what I am doing right now.
How did this healing journey begin for you? How did you start healing other people?
मैं खुद जाती थी पहले, so I had no idea about healing. मैं खुद जाती थी. I have been to therapy. ये क्यों है, वो क्यों है. I have been the most into cutlet, so I used to go for it a lot. So I met, I don't know if you believe in that. The universe conspires; it chooses some people. So I met this woman who read my writing. She came. She said, "I'll come to Delhi and meet you." I met her in 2017. It was good. ठीक है. Lockdown hua, so many years passed and lockdown hai. She called me up. She said that I am teaching this, this Akashic reading and healing. Would you want to learn from me? I was like, no, I'm not interested. She said, she does it. It's a paid thing. She said that, in my prayers, I heard your name. Please come and join in. मैं 2 बजे तक खाना खा रही थी. मैंने कहा switch on करके देखती हूँ because the internet was not working. वर्क किया एंड द नेक्स्ट डे 2 दिन की क्लास थी मैंने किया मैंने फेसबुक पे फ्लेक्स किया दैट आई लर्नड दिस वन ऑफ माय सीनियर स्कूल सीनियर सेड मेरा कर दो आई लाइक ओके कम एंड आई सेड पैसे देने की क्या जरूरत है मैं तो ऐसे ही कर रही हूँ शी गिव मी $1,000 शी वाज सो इम्प्रेस्ड शी टोल्ड 3 अदर फ्रेंड्स एंड तब तक करते करते 2000 लोग हो गए So, मैं तो अकेले ही चला था जाने भी मन से लोग मिलते गए कारवां बनता गया I just before working with you so talking to you I just finished a client इसीलिए थोड़ा टाइम लग गया And once I am done, I'll work. I have another client tomorrow, 10 a.m. थोड़ा से prepare करूँगी. So people are just coming in as if my teacher said, you just sit there. And it is a call. Everyone will keep coming. And yeah, लोग आ रहे हैं तो काम चल रहा है. I don't know what else to say.
Oh.
Maybe
So-
destiny. Maybe it is a call. I don't know.
So what you do is it's called Akashic Reading.
Akashic Reading and Healing. So basically what I do is like Akasha is a place where everything you have done in all your lifetimes is recorded. So when you come, that why it is that, you know, I have this relationship, job and health, तीनों चीज होती है. When you ask me why, I connect with that. It is metaphorical, of course. I connect with your records. वहाँ से I find the answers, and then we ask for healing. And then I add a lot of trauma work, which I'm learning now. And the results have been tremendous. Honestly, लोग बड़ा बोलते हैं ना, I'm so good. खुद के बारे में जब लोग बोलते हैं, I am amazed at the results that I have got. मैंने जिंदगी में नहीं सोचा था that this could be done. People say, as like, हो गया क्या आपका? मैं तो बोल नहीं सकती ना कि. And people come and say, you know, it's very interesting. I was working with this client, दो तीन session की. She is asexual, you know, and she wanted to get married. In India, 0.001% people are asexual. We worked through. She just went on her first date. The guy was asexual. She got married this September.
Oh,
I am not
really?
not making this. Yes, it happens. People have family curses. कहते हैं atonement होता है. एक generation ने कुछ किया है. There are 2-3 generation who goes through a lot of tragedies. अमीर भी हो सकते हैं, educated भी हो सकते हैं. Children die soon. So they come to me, they ask why it is happening. My job is to find where the trauma is and help that generation close the cycle. That is my job basically. That's why they pay me.
So who all are the other kinds of people who come for getting an Akashic reading session done, or for Akashic healing?
Anyone. Basically, a lot of women do come, of course. But I have worked with people across the world. Iran से भी है, Pakistan से भी है, Belgium से भी है, Alaska से भी है. So बात ऐसे बढ़ गई है, ऑफिसेस में लोग बात करते हैं ना. So there are जैसे London में I have a lot of clients. I have a client in the US. So some people work in Facebook, Google. So when they have this conversation while having lunch at office place, so I will just pass me the number. So that is how, you know, now I've started believing destiny. I don't even have a website till date. I don't have a PR. I don't have anything paid. कुछ भी नहीं है. But someone is holding it. So जब तक चला रहा है ठीक है. I just surrender. और मैं हमेशा पूछती हूँ ये काम तुम्हारा हो गया. But that is how it is. You surrender and let's see how things go. वादा किसी को नहीं किया है कि तुम्हारा ये बहुत अच्छा होगा. करते हैं, देखते हैं. और जो देखने को मिलता है, it has been miracle.
Absolutely. So, do you still get to write as much as you like to, or how is writing been right now?
To be honest, अभी पढ़ना बहुत पड़ता है. And you will be very honest, when you are doing so much of trauma study, थोड़ा नहीं तो थोड़ा, you do get, trigger होता है. मैं भी तो इंसान हूँ ना. So, you know, it does take a lot of my own energy and my own time. माना मैंने काम 1 घंटे का किया, but मुझे रेस्ट चाहिए होता है 1-2 घंटे का, because the nervous system is not created in a way कि आप इतना trauma absorb कर पाओ. In this profession, rest is very important. So now this has taken a forefront. Writing करती हूँ, but it isn't what it was before, because I give my 100%, और emotionally बहुत exhaustion होता है, in a good way, and you do feel tired. I won't lie. People are like एक से बाद एक sessions. I don't know how they do it. मेरा 1-1.5 घंटे का session होता है, and then I need to sit down and relax. My nervous system doesn't allow me to constantly keep doing it. Otherwise, I'll have a breakdown. So
how does a healer take breaks? How does a healer heal themselves to be able to?
I have my healer. I have my support system is very strong. My family is amazing. मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूँगी that privilege बहुत है. I wouldn't say that, I need to take care of 10, 15 people. Everyone can take care of me. But of course, I also earn pretty good. मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूँगी आपसे. पर हमेशा इस घर का privilege है. इतने सुंदर घर का privilege है. We have help. 2-3 help है घर पे. Who would bring कुछ भी चाहिए तो. And and people are very understanding. क्या कर रही हो? I don't have a battle to fight home. So the world is also easier for me. And I understand that सबके नहीं होते हैं. तो इसीलिए I can do so many multiple things because the support system is very strong.
That is where you draw the strength from, basically.
Of course, you need something. ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि I woke up one fine day and everything happens and दुनिया मुझे खाने को नहीं है and I will heal everyone. It doesn't happen. At least not for me. I always acknowledge my privilege. I also acknowledge कि मेरी CV बहुत strong है. मुझे कल फिर से job मिल जाएगी. Maybe not in the same post, but भूखा तो नहीं मरूंगी. I have the privilege of a very good education. Skill set मेरी बहुत strong है. You can't beat me there. So will I get a job? Hell yes. Do I need to get a job? Hell no. Am I worried about my finances? I have my financial goal. Has it been met? Yes. Can I take my family for a holiday? Yes. Do I have a good Medicare plan for me? Yes. So I have my things at place and I wouldn't lie. I like this well-being in life. I don't want to be poor and going around and, trying to help people. I'm someone who has my life in place. And that is why I'm grounded. My work is very grounded that way. My work needs a lot of stability क्योंकि बहुत trauma हम सुनते हैं. I hear it every day. And that is why, it works for me. I don't like delusions. I'm too old for delusions now.
So, do you like being there in Assam right now, or is there any point of being in Delhi, or is it more like you can just visit once in a while?
Okay. तो क्या होता है ना, summers में I'm here right now. दिल्ली में क्या होता है, I do a lot of ghost writing for a lot of clients, जिनके memoirs में लिखती हूँ. So 3-4 महीना होना होता है क्योंकि काम मुझे पिक करना होता है. I have to meet my clients, I have to talk to them, sign contracts. एक client के लिए 1 महीना निकल जाता है. So I prefer to say 4 to 5 months and then come back. So काम तो because the paid clients are in Delhi. So you need to be there to talk about it, and when you write memoirs, थोड़ा सा एक personal connection हो जाता है. So that is how I figure out my things in life. And I don't want to say how brave I am. I'm not that brave because I have a very, soft bed to fall on. मैंने काम छोड़ दिया. I am this brave. I'm not. I'm very privileged. बहुत अच्छे मेरे पेरेंट्स है, मेरी फैमिली है. भाई की शादी हुई, मुझसे छोटा है, but no one said बड़ी के क्यों नहीं हुई है and all that. I had so much of fun. So mental pressure नहीं है. So for me to sit for 10-15 hours and study still is easy because that's my privilege. And I'm not asking anyone, आप जॉब छोड़ दो, ये करो, वो करो. I'm not that person to lie to you. बहन अपना देख लेना. मैं तो कहती हूँ, मैंने अपना देख लिया, तुम अपना देख लेना. Do not become. Someone was telling me मैं जॉब छोड़ के टैरो करूंगी. मैंने देखा बहन तू सिंगल है, उसके बाद तू पुअर मत बन. It's a sin to be single and poor. जॉब में रह तू. So let us have some conversation about money also, na? Ki you need money to have a good life because this phone and this electricity and everything is paid for. So I am very practical that way, and I always tell that मैंने अपना देख लिया, तुम अपना देख लो. Don't follow my footprints because you don't know where I come from.
Correct. That makes sense. So, talking about money, just touching upon that subject, why do you think so many women don't take money seriously, and what should they generally do about it? Generally, I'm just generally asking your opinion.
Very good question. Generationally, women are judged by what they give in a relationship. तुमने कितना सहा है, जो इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में है. हैव यू हर्ड दोस को, मैंने कितना सहा है, पति ने मारा फिर भी मैंने रिलेशनशिप, मैंने घर को संभाला है. बेटी तो वही सीखती है ना, चाहे वो कितनी एजुकेटेड हो. मनी को भी disown, ये तो खराब चीज है. तुम अच्छी औरत हो, मतलब the suffering woman is being worshipped. So what we incentivize is what we want to become. We are incentivizing the suffering. बाल नहीं बना पा रही, पार्लर नहीं जाती, एंड शी मैरिड एट एज ऑफ 18 में शादी करके अब देखो 5 लड़कों को उसने देखो कितना बड़ा किया है. A little girl is listening to that. So we are like, पैसे के बारे में बाद में सोचेंगे, घर ठीक कर ले. And that is also how patriarchally women are kept away from power, because money is power.
Correct.
This is systematic abuse. This is systematic abuse.
Correct.
Men are taught at a very young age what power is. Women are not. We are supposed to make men powerful. We are not supposed to be powerful ourselves.
Absolutely.
So this is generational trauma. And no matter how much education you are giving me, you are like, okay, I have to look after my family. मुझे अच्छी बहू बनना है. कभी तो कहा नहीं ना अच्छा दामाद बनना है. So drama, it is generational of patriarchal systematic abuse की बात है. That is why they don't take it. But I'm glad girls are learning these days, and there's so much conversation happening around. I did not take it for a real long time until shit hits the fan, and then I realized I need a financial portfolio also. And now, and now I am very, very, serious about my financial portfolio. Career portfolio, ka to I am very serious. My health, I am very serious of it. My financial portfolio, because I say this, and it went very viral on Twitter, that money will do to you what your lovers, your husbands, your khandan won't do. It will save your life.
That's true. That's unfortunately true, right?
And you know what? In India, जब आप organ transplant में women को बहुत कम दिया जाता है, because women are so replaceable. Men, 70-80% of men who get the medical care. You see, तुम्हारा पैसा होगा ना तो तुम खुद को बचा सकती हो. Money is a superpower. I keep telling young women that, तुम्हारी जान बचाएगा पैसा. And if you give someone the power to feed you, you give them the power to keep you hungry.
That's true. That's unfortunately, as true as it is, basically.
True. And that is why I take it very seriously. And बहुत सारी privileges पैसे से आती है, because you're not dependent. And when you earn well, somewhere the society also doesn't disturb you too much. गरीब होगा ना, आपको मारेंगे जरूर. बोल के ही आपको खाना खिलाएंगे, बोल के तुम करती क्या हो पूरा दिन, है ना. फिर आप ओवर गिव करना शुरू करोगे कि मैं भी तो कुछ करती हूँ, मैं बर्तन ही 4 बार धोऊंगी. So that is why it has to be a completely rounded life. So मैं grow देखती रहती हूँ कहाँ पर क्या invest करना है, all that. I have people who help me, of course. A money coach I have my own. झूठ नहीं बोलूँगी. I don't know everything on my own. There are people who help me. So that is that. That is that. And I want to be a very accomplished woman. A woman who was, when someone talks about me, my nieces, they should talk about me as someone who was happy, accomplished, calm, did well in life, lived a good life, and died. मुझे hero नहीं बनना है. I have seen what have happened to heroes. ना मुझे hero बनना है, ना मैं victim भी नहीं हूँ. And I know I'm amazing. तो वही सुबह कहती हूँ खुद को, affirmation that you're so good. All good work comes to you. And universe keep providing what I tell it.
Wow. So, do you think women and also men, with times, are things changing also in India? Forget globally, but do you see the world around you changing when it comes to money and women? Or the way men look at women?
Yes. Because there has, जैसे India में, every change is political, social and economical. You don't change it, because 91 में जब globalization का मनमोहन सिंह, you know that we were like in school or something like that. उसके बाद इंडियन वर्कफोर्स में वुमेन की जरूरत बहुत पड़ी है. गवर्नमेंट की एजुकेशन पॉलिसी चेंज हुई है कि हायर एजुकेशन लड़कियों को फ्री देंगे हम. सो व्हेन पॉलिसीज चेंज, माँ बाप ना अपने बच्चों को ज्यादा पढ़ाना शुरू किए, बिकॉज घर में पैसा ज्यादा आना शुरू हुआ. जो मारा मारी थी पैसे की, वो कम होना शुरू हुआ. And पहले तो people just started earning. They didn't know how to invest. Self-care क्या होता है? Right now there's a lot of confusion about what it is to be a man and what is to be a woman. You and I, who have grown up in the 90s, are the sandwich generation between the traditionalist, between the modern. 30s, 40s में जो लोग हैं, and it will take pick करेगा 10-20 साल में, then the churning will happen. अभी churning हो रही है, product तो 20 साल में निकलेगा. So these changes that you see, this Instagram में जो बात कर रहे, जो आप देख रहे हो, मेरी जो well-being है 91 से शुरू हुई है, क्योंकि तब policies बदले हैं. वुमेन कॉलेजेस ज़्यादा शुरू हुई है, रिजर्वेशंस हुआ है, टेक्नोलॉजिकली थिंग्स हैव शिफ्टेड, यू कैन मेक मनी ओवर द इंटरनेट, तब रिलेशनशिप डायनामिक्स भी शुरू हुई है. At this point in time, India and the world has the highest number of single women above 30 because women can earn. They don't have to be dependent on someone to feed them. पापा नहीं खिलाएंगे तो खिलाएगा कौन? There is Uber है, फोन है, कनेक्शन बहुत ज्यादा है. टेक्नोलॉजी हमेशा सोसाइटी को भी बदलती है. सोशियोलॉजिस्ट से अगर बात करो तो देखोगे चीजें ना स्पोरेडिक, देयर इज नथिंग स्पोरेडिक, देयर इज अ मींस एक सिस्टम होता है एंड दैट व्हाट बिल्ड्स थिंग्स एज इट इज. इट कैन बी गुड, इट कैन बी बैड, बट देयर इज ऑलवेज a process. There is nothing sporadic, neither in your life, nor in the family, nor in the society. अगर हम बैक गियर करके देखें, you will see that everything has a connecting link.
Very interesting. And I'm asking this in
You
all
were a
seriousness.
product of your time. हाँ, पूछिए. You were a product of your time. Your father wasn't talking to a woman over Instagram where 10-15 people are watching them, right? So I am also a product of our time. ये जो लोग बोलते हैं मैं बहुत अलग हूँ, नहीं मेरी जान. There is a system that has created you. So yeah, what was the next question?
The more people we know, the more world we get to know, the more we realize that the more different we think of ourselves, the more we are actually the same, because everybody is changing in the same way.
और इतना स्पेशल नहीं हो मेरी जान. लोग बहुत बोलते हैं ना मैं नहीं हूँ. There are people before you and behind you. अब बात करते हैं. इतना स्पेशलिटी से जब आओगे ना, you don't heal. You have to hit the basic to heal. मेरी जान, मतलब people like मैंने इतना किया है. बोली.
I've also started feeling that the more highly you think of yourself, the more lowly you are thinking of other people unconsciously.
Of course, that's why you are high, na? मैं कितनी अच्छी हूँ. I mean, I have lived in hostels and PGs. I have this experience, which rarely people will have, of having 100 to 150 roommates. है ना? तो आप जब किसी के साथ रहते हो, you cannot imagine when you have a shared space with another human being for the major part of your life, the experience that you will have, it is beyond what an education system can give you. उनकी एक एक बात आप सुनते हो, मम्मी से कैसे बात कर रहे, पापा से कैसे बात कर रहे, so where I realize that when someone thinks मैं तो बहुत अलग हूँ, मुझसे कोई बात नहीं करता, प्रॉब्लम शायद तुम में है, तो everyone hates you, तो ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? And then जो क्वारल हर किसी के साथ होती है, आपके साथ नेक्स्ट दिन से शुरू होती है, वो भी एक सिस्टम है, एक पैटर्न है. So that is where I learned a lot about life, but living with humans. इंसान बहुत सिखाता है आपको. And the way you have to deal with a person living and thriving just next to you, next bed पे ही सोती है. So you have to have those equation how you stay with them for years and years. बहुत educate करती है, wisdom बहुत आता है. I think all that I write and I talk, वहाँ से 80% वहाँ से आती है मेरी understanding of life.
Right. So, and in all seriousness, I want to ask this, that if you go back to the early man, there was a time when we actually had to hunt and find food, or we had to actually, let's say, go out and do a lot of physical labor to make money. Over time, times have changed. Largely, I would say, increasing number of jobs and businesses can be done over a laptop. I'm not saying all, I'm saying increasing number, right? Many people can work from home today. You don't even need to go to another city.
Step out. Yes.
I genuinely want to understand that in what ways, first of all, is question mark, and in what ways is a woman any lesser than a man anymore in the given current scenario in terms of economic opportunities or in terms of living life or just doing things.
देखो, the whole point is that ज़्यादा जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. अभी कितना टाइम हुआ है? 10 बज रहे हैं. You can go out, I cannot go out. Fundamental difference. How we raise our children. Women still India में women are highly anemic. खाना कम दिया जाता है. खाना कम खाती है. I mean statistics देखो, data देखो. Because I study a lot of data and statistics, ज्ञान देना और proper जो government of India का data आता है, या ORF का data आता है, या UNICEF का जो data आता है, those are पक्का data. 1-2% इधर उधर हो सकता है. 56% of Indian women who are married are go to domestic abuse. India में only 7% women in the cities who go to work and earn money. And then India has the highest women with PhD degree who are housewives. So वो systematically issue कहाँ से आया है? Why it is that we have such lower workforce, lesser than Sri Lanka and Pakistan also, women lesser workforce क्यों है? But opportunity की नहीं है, but systematic abuse की है.
So it starts with the family. You mean to say that it starts right from the time one is born. It begins right there.
And what society are you born in? Society क्या है? Family क्या है? आपकी caste, India में caste, gender सब equate होता है. There are many levels of oppression that happens. I am an upper caste woman. I cannot talk about what a Dalit or a Muslim woman will go through. I am a Hindu upper caste woman born in one of the most liberal states in the country with two liberal people who like, and with in a very multi-language small town, क्योंकि यहाँ पर financial opportunity ज़्यादा है, गरीब लोग कम है. So mine and someone in a very यूपी में एक छोटा सा शहर मेरे जैसा, उनका कल्चर बहुत अलग होगा. हम कल्चर women come to home and home to dance in बिहू, है ना? तो किसी घर में तो डांस करेंगे तो मार देंगे ना लड़कियों को. Functions होते हैं, even married women's dance called बुआरी बिहू, which means भाभी dance. So it is बुआरी बिहू. So we have that culturally.
So is it logical to? Yeah, sorry. Please go ahead.
It is systematic. It is systematic. So it will take और जो उसका data, उसमें किसका data आया है? It will take 70 years for women to even get the same pay and same the opportunity as men do in this country. 270 हुआ है. 230 था पहले, with COVID 50 साल और हम पीछे चले गए हैं. Because a lot of girls did not get education क्योंकि mobile phone नहीं था. These are data.
So, do you think probably the smallest amount of change may have started happening in the top, the top tier towns globally or even in India, like the Delhis and the Bombays and the Bangalores? Have we started looking at some change systematically?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a product of that change. The conversation I can do it because किसी ने तो उसको assimilate किया है to get a job, to be safe where I am. So yes, things are changing. However, इसको trickling down करने में बहुत time लगेगा. We are still a very feudal, feudal society where women belong to the man. इसीलिए honor killing की जाती है. 80% हमारी arranged marriages होती है क्योंकि आप जात और बिरादरी में शादी करो. You breed in the same community. In breeding की बात होती है. My sexuality is controlled by the whole community with whom I breed with. इसीलिए जात और बिरादरी की बात होती है प्रतीक.
And do you think generally, I mean, this is a very general random remark, do you think a lot of men are genuinely just scared of very strong women in general?
Of course, the point is that जो देखा नहीं है पहले, one you haven't dealt with every day, it will evoke fear for them. मैंने अगर I have not seen a man who has two horns, I will be go crazy अगर वो मेरे पास रहेगा. The whole Indian society, our education ले लीजिए, आप media ले लीजिए, बेटी बचाओ and woman को empower किया, men को तो कुछ नहीं हुआ ना. वो लोग चले जा रहे हैं, पेट्रियार्की में चले जा रहे हैं. लड़कियों को नहीं पढ़ो, तुम लोग को ये करना होगा, तुमको वो करना होगा. No, we were like raised like horse breeders. Education top notch, job top notch, look good top notch, talk well, cooking top notch. मर्दों को तो ठीक है, जॉब तो मिल ही जाएगी. The system is created for men so well, ना. If as a man at the top layer you are failing, you really need help in life. System किसके लिए build किया जा रहा है? We need to question that.
And I also personally feel that I think men are also beginning to lose power because the very things that made them. I mean, I'm just talking about the world around me. I mean to say the metros as to say.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Because like you very rightly mentioned, it's a very interesting point. If a woman doesn't need a man, where does the man draw power from? If there is nobody to supply.
System. अगर जब इसीलिए right now you will see Andrew Tate has come up. Have you seen the way he talks about women? I was listening to a lot of conversation. This Western में, India में अभी तक आया नहीं है. And the way they are talking to women, you are not a traditional woman. हम क्यों देंगे? Because the power is being lost. और see, prostitute होना पहले गालियाँ होती थी, है ना? But prostitute की भी एक system होती है, एक बहुत abuse के बाद होता है. But anyways, वो गाली होती है, ठीक है? Now OnlyFans में एक लड़की $1 million एक महीने में करती है, right? I was doing some research, मैं पढ़ रही थी. Women's sexuality, which was almost controlled, which is now right there in front of you, and women are making money out of it. The kind of this kind of discussions that are happening. So history में पहली बार हुआ है that women are earning just by becoming naked. पहले वो मर्द का था that I would do what I want to do to you. अभी I have the agency, and that is where the whole power system is fluctuating, and even I don't know where it is going. Nor Andrew Tate knows. अभी churning period है, अमृत मंथन होता है. 20 साल बाद पता चलेगा. You and I will be old, at least I will be. So it is a very interesting time we are living in. So because now no generation have lived through this kind of connectivity. You and I having this conversation, our parents couldn't have imagined it. The connectivity, the money people are making, $1.3 million, bloody, you were just 18. There are women I've seen in Philippines, and I was just, they have raised their families out of poverty through this.
Right.
So the line between right and wrong is blurring.
And what
so religion is holding. Yeah. What is wrong? And जो religion का एक hold होता है हमेशा. All religions are equally patriarchal. वो hold जो होता है, when everything, when you can't control the internet, right?
Exactly.
So control खत्म हो रहा है. We will see more and more of oppression right on the face. तुम ट्रांस क्यों हो? उससे ही लड़ाई शुरू होगी. ट्रांस को मारेंगे, गे को मारेंगे, रिलीजियस किसी और रिलीजन से कर रहे हो आप मारेंगे. मैं कंट्रोल किसको करूँ अभी? So वो जो control खो रहा है ना, it is giving birth to a lot of violence. We are in the most violent time even in these days, despite we being so woke, isn't it? You say the wrong word, people will come after you.
I think violence is perennial fundamentally, It happens in different ways to different sections of the society. It may not happen all at once, one city being targeted, but essentially it does percolate in different ways.
Human history is with violence. हमारी historical.
I was just reading *Sapiens* a while back, and I realized that fundamentally organisms, as long as somebody has to survive. So fundamentally, the only way one thinks of surviving is by killing somebody else. I mean,
Exactly.
I
And now it is the war. Now the war is of ideas. Whose idea
win.
will go after I do?
Correct.
And with the internet, it is so easy to have people who have the similar ideas. Right, wrong, ugly, bad is another thing. The fight is no more for anything else. The idea, whose idea will be propagated to the next generation. So LGBTQ का वो सब पकड़ रहे, क्यों हमारे बच्चों को सिखा रहे हो? बच्चा गे होगा तो ऐसे भी होगा ना. But whose idea, whose grip, whose power goes to the next generation is our fight right now. And that is why people are where we are right now. And जब तक इंसान रहेगा, तब तक तो violence रहेगा. I don't think violence is ever going to come to an end, but levels ऊपर नीचे हो सकते हैं.
Of course. I think I think if you just go back through history, you'll realize that eventually every once in a while there comes some set of people or some person who has this built up anger, hatred towards a society, towards a community, whatever, and then it leads to one or the other kind of violence. It could be the
Absolutely.
Hitlers or the Saddam Husseins or anybody else for that matter, and even America for that instance. But yeah, I think the point I really liked is the Amrit Manthan we talked about and how something like OnlyFans. I wouldn't even honestly compare it to prostitution per se, but I'm just trying to say
But
that.
it is, of course.
No, I'm just trying to say that the fact
No.
that this is a professional way of making money.
Yeah.
It's professional,
Yeah.
it's legal, it's not even porn per se, but it's like me sitting in my house somewhere in the world. I lock the door and I do whatever I want to do, and I can make money from it. And
Someone made 1 billion, 1.3 billion that day. I was just reading the statistics across the globe. So people make in billions.
And I think I'll tell you the interesting way I look at it is that, and this may be misconstrued or I may not even have the right way to put it, but this is where I see things flipping in the favor of women. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that in general, men had to go out and do some physical tasks to invariably make money. But today, with the use of technology that anybody could have built, by scaling up your skill, your art, like for the lack of a better example, you could be a great cook, a great chef, and if you do it well, people from all over the globe could like you. Earlier, there was red tapeism. Unless and until a network put you on air, there was no way you could go on air. But today, you don't need to be on TV. You could have a phone, you could start doing it. So the way I look at internet is that let's just, for the lack of a better example, say that a lot of women actually stay inside reels across the world, right?
True.
With the internet, you can come out with all that beauty. You can come out with all those, thoughts, expressions, ideas. And when all of that comes out in the open, and if internet is a medium of ideas and talking and thoughts and expression, not really, I can't be using a hammer to kind of, do stuff here. Then I think the people with the more beautiful ideas win at some level. And along with that, whatever else works on the internet wins. And I do see women getting a lot empowered. OnlyFans is probably the pinnacle in a certain way, but there is so much else that can be done.
So much more.
Which is being done.
Because only now, because of the internet, this is the only time women are talking about what it is to be a woman. Otherwise, men were telling us. ये जो बात तुम्हारी मेरी हो रही है 10 लोग 20 लोग जो भी देख रहे हैं is because of the internet. Otherwise, you'd have connected to a bro of yours. Let's talk about women today.
Exactly.
That is what men have done.
Exactly.
And now men are stunned that what they thought about what women want, we don't want them. And the worst part, what men are realizing that you might not want them. The first time in the history they are realizing कि इनको तो हमारी जरूरत है ही नहीं, मैं मर्द हूँ. She can do exactly. She's making shitload of money without me.
I'll tell you what. You leave a woman by herself. So have you ever heard of men having a kitty party? Men don't have a kitty party, right? Women will always find a way to have some kind of a kitty party or a community or a religious community.
Yes.
Because women can find find community, can build community, can
Yes.
bond with each
Yes.
other, and they
Yes.
can also adjust with each other. Men will fundamentally bond over alcohol or drinks or sports or
Sports.
politics or business or money,
True.
right?
True.
Now the point is that in the current scenario, I'm saying, and this is for larger population, a man invariably requires a woman for emotional support, for family support, to take care of him because he's always been taken care of. A woman doesn't require a man to be taken care of. I mean, the moment money goes out of the equation, a woman is like, wait a minute, do I really need a man? I mean, it would be nice to have a man. I mean, we're only talking about, a normal,
Exactly.
not a normal, but I mean, whatever. I mean, my point is that I think it's very interesting times, and Amrit Manthan you talked about. I see that it will not take 20 years for us to get somewhere strange. Strange meaning
Strange.
that okay, this is strange. Like,
Men are emotionally stunted.
yeah.
Indian men especially are. They don't know how to have a conversation. They're like, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, मेरे पास ये है. Basically, men want to show that this is the bank balance I want, I have. I can feed you and I can protect your children. That is men in basic. But with technology, what I earn, it can be more than you, Pratik. So why would I want Pratik to take care of me tomorrow?
Exactly the point. Other
I
than
can afford a car. Uber आ गया है. Food I can order. देखो, खाना and travel are taken care of. So
I think
why
if
should I
we
wash Pratik kapra and
exactly,
take?
I think if we take out the social equation, like for a lot of people, having a partner is also about socially being more acceptable,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Or,
yes, yes.
or
True,
about bearing a child, or about raising a family, so on and so forth. But the more,
true.
I mean, I will not call it modern. I'm saying the more independent one becomes, the more ideas one has, the more one realizes that I can also choose A, B, C, and D in whatever combination I want. I may not get married, not have a kid. I may not get married, have a kid. I may have a kid and also get married. I mean, I'm saying that when there are so many permutations and combinations available, then it opens it all up and it becomes very confusing and scary for a regular traditional person. It could be man, woman, mother, child,
Very
husband,
true.
wife, anybody. And I think that
And that is where a
polarization
lot of violence
contributes.
come in. Lot of violence comes in. There where violence comes in. तुम तो हमारे जैसे नहीं हो. You don't belong to us. So what do? Either we oppress you or we will violate everything about you. तुम तो हो भी ऐसे, है ना? क्योंकि आजकल statistically, I go back to statistics so much. Statistically, Indian single women take adoption उनकी सबसे highest rate है अभी इंडिया में. Adopting girl child. You see, there's another world also happening. So women adopting young children, not getting married, well settled. They have taken a girl child, and because of the case Shushmita Sen fought in '94, I guess. So हमारे लिए बहुत आसान हो गया है to have a baby of our own. है ना? Time लगता है 3 महीना 4 महीना. But if you also apply tomorrow, I apply tomorrow, you as a married man will have the similar kind of privilege that I will have. And also एक लड़की को देना वो लोग आसान मानते हैं क्योंकि there are no men to abuse the child, basically the girl child.
I understand.
So I have option. तो जो सोसाइटी ने सिस्टम बना के दिया था कि शादी 18 से 22 में शादी हो जानी चाहिए because that is the most fertile period. The men will look over, but now with system, with technology, with education, with money, I can choose to adopt a 10-year-old male. So I don't need a male sperm. Or I can surrogate also. Surrogation bill आ चुकी है. As a single woman, I can surrogate much more easier than you as a married man tomorrow. There are laws in place, right? And these have been fought for years. I get it. But someone is getting facilitated for this 300, 200 years of fight for women's rights, which is still going on. But someone is getting the fruit of it, right? I am getting the fruit of it.
Correct.
So, need कम हो रही है. अभी साथ में कैसे चलना है? How to walk together without really एक को मार के एक को पीट के कैसे आगे निकलना चाहिए. मैं एक बात हमेशा कहती, lot of our parents should not have married each other. Sorry. So I have this, and this went very viral, that lot of our parents did not need marriage. They needed rest. They needed community support. They needed therapy. Are everyone prepared to be in a family or in a marriage? That is also a question we need to ask more.
Absolutely. I think
सभी बच्चे करेंगे. What if, Pratik, you just wanted to fish? क्योंकि आप, because you don't have to a family, you don't want to earn this much. आपने महीने में 20-30 हजार earn किया, and then you want to fish for the rest of your day.
Right.
Why it is not optional? That is my question. Why do you have to earn for 4 people? Flat भी मैं लूंगा, EMI भी लूंगा, बच्चों को abroad भेजना है, वो तो पागल करेंगे, फिर तुम्हें घूमना होगा. So you're working all the time. What if you just wanted to fish and live with your parents till they're alive, and then live in an old age home? System तो वो भी हो सकता है ना. My question is, why those systems are not available to us?
Yeah, because I think all these are man-made systems. I mean, all of them. They evolved over time. In fact, I mean,
It is evolving. क्योंकि तब तो कुछ था भी नहीं ना. If I did not marry, there will be someone who will predate on me. Communities कैसे शुरू हुई है? Let us be together. Power होती है.
Means of protection also.
Absolutely. Communities are also very important. I have been grown up in one. So आपका एक no matter how individual is it, our nervous system is built to heal in a community. आप अकेले इतना heal नहीं कर पाते हो. Community healing. इसीलिए जब religious चर्च में हो, मंदिर में हो, लोग साथ में कीर्तन करते हैं, साथ में prayers होते हैं. Why the system was created? साथ में सब कुछ है. You are not alone.
Correct.
अकेला बच्चा पर रख दो एक रूम में, वो मर जाएगा. 5 लोग अगर बात करते रहे तो बच्चा खिलखिलाता है. He knows he is cared for.
Correct.
Our system is created that way. Marriage is important, but not for everyone. उनके लिए भी एक सिस्टम क्रिएट करे कि वो लोग भी जहाँ रहे खुश रहे.
Absolutely.
Do not pull everyone to one system.
No, totally. I think I completely agree with that part. That definitely everything's not meant for everyone, for sure.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. मैं तो ये भी कहती हूँ, do we all need to earn money? That is also a question.
Yeah. I think everybody should earn money and everybody should be independent in their own way so they can take care of their own life by themselves.
Exactly. And I don't think that we should put that much pressure on men on being the ghar ka chirag. They have messed up exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that is also a different conversation. I mean, how men have had to bear all this pressure for no reason but for no fault of theirs. I mean, just because you're born a man, you're like, तुम बनोगे ये, तुम करोगे वो, तुम
करोगे. 3 बहनों की शादी तुम कराओगे. 3 बहनों की शादी तुम कराओगे. मुझे मेरे बुढ़ापे तक तुम देखोगे. What pressure that is. And that is why our men are emotionally stunted. They don't even think कि पैसा कमाते हैं, घर और बरा लेते हैं. That is why मर्दानगी तो उसी से ही वो करते हैं ना. मर्दान.
That's the only thing worth achieving in life, right? मर्दानगी बढ़ाओ और be the man.
Be the man. वो वाइफ ने कितनी ज्वेलरी पहनी है on a family gathering. वो बंदा चाहे टी शर्ट और लुंगी में रहेगा. बीवी सही रहनी चाहिए.
Completely.
So, I mean, I have a lot of empathy for men to unnecessarily लड़कों को झुला दिया है.
Society में, I think like we were just discussing now that society is also like an organism, right? It continuously evolves, changes, and over decades and centuries it actually changes. We are here for a very, very short span of time. In that we will see some change happen, hopefully, and we'll probably be happy to live with it. And so we saw this happen, but otherwise it's all.
And Pratik, when you really understand that I'm 38 now. I don't know how old you are. You must be in your 30s or 20s. I don't know. With age, what happens? You realize that this will end one day. ये मुझे ना बहुत 35 में समझ में आ गई थी. That brought such peace in life. You could forgive people क्योंकि ये खत्म होने वाला है. It is not never ending. ये जो let का सिस्टम, उसने मुझे ऐसा कहा था, उसने मुझे रिजेक्ट किया था, उसको भी मैं करूंगी, है ना? वो that understanding came and that shifted my whole life. When I started, ये खेल खत्म हो जाएगा in 30 years, in 3 days, or maybe in 40 years. ये खेल खत्म होगा. Do what matters and take care of yourself. So now also legacy building is also important. I'm already going to my 40s. In 2 साल में तो मैं 40 हो जाऊंगी. So legacy building is important. लिखाई पढ़ाई बहुत होती है. I spend a lot of time studying, reading, taking classes. Some of the really good teachers teach me a lot about trauma work. So that is, let's do what is important. और किसी, जैसे मैंने किसी को कहा है, इस लाइफ टाइम में नहीं हो रहा है मेरी जान, नेक्स्ट लाइफ टाइम में मिलेंगे और फिर वी विल फिगर आउट. आई कांट हैंडल दिस एनीमोर. माय फेवरेट डायलॉग, आई कांट हैंडल इट इन दिस लाइफ टाइम. So yeah, let's do what is important, and now it is also time for your own legacy. आप क्या छोड़ के जाओगे, ये भी सोचने की बात है. एंड व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट दोज थिंग्स, छोटी छोटी बातें ना आपको मैटर नहीं करना चाहती, बिकॉज यू हैव डन द ड्रिल, राइट? एज डज दैट टू यू. प्रैक्टिस आ जाती है ना जिंदगी जीने की. सो 38 years I have lived. I know where the drama is coming from. So next lifetime deal करूंगी. So that way I'm very selfish, yes.
Wonderful. And so with that, I mean,
Finally.
as much as we may feel that we've just started talking, but this might be the longest episode I've recorded for the Time Pass podcast.
You speak for half an hour. Now I'm seeing we have gone far beyond 1 hour, right?
We've gone, beyond the 1 hour, and I think lovely talking about so many things. Great to hear your perspective about life, about things that you do. And I'm sure that whoever happens to listen to any part of this entire conversation anywhere will have some very interesting takeaways from whatever we talked about, whatever you in fact talked about. And I was just a very happy listener. I was happy to be a part of this conversation, and I am very happy that you graced our podcast with your presence.
And thank you so much, Pratik, for this intelligent conversation. मुझे I have spoken to many people. There have a lot of interviews I have given, but हमेशा बचपन कैसा था, तितली, वो उससे आपको खराब लग. People don't ask me questions, so it's very rarely someone asks such intelligent question. And thank you for that. Thank you. And bless you. I'll see you someday later. Lovely talking to you. God bless.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.